Good morning, students. Welcome back to this video session. In the previous class, we were discussing on payment materials. Okay, so we also discussed what are the things that comes under payment materials, or the concept that we are going to learn in this entire module. So there are majorly four payment materials on which we need to concentrate. That is soil, which is used as a subgrade material; aggregates, which is most part of the road materials, that is 90 to 85 to 95 percentage of the pavement is composed of these road aggregates. So then bitumen, obviously, used as a binder, and also cement, which is also used as a binder in concrete pavements. Okay, so out of which we already discussed on soil, the types of soil, why soil is important, the various tests conducted in soil, then desirable properties of the soil to be used in the highway construction. So similarly, we'll move on to the next highway material, that is road aggregates. So as I have already told, aggregate is a collective term for mineral materials such as sand, gravel, crushed stone that are used with binding medium such as water, bitumen, Portland cement, lime, etc. to form a compound material such as bituminous concrete and Portland cement concrete. Okay, so aggregate is nothing but it is a term usually used for the mineral materials. That is, it might be either sand, which we oftenly call it as fine aggregate. So gravel can also be called as aggregate, which comes under aggregate section. So then crushed stone, which is nothing but coarse aggregate. Okay, so it is usually in the highway construction used with the help of binding medium. So if you consider bitumen, so in case of flexible pavements or bituminous pavements or asphalt pavements, so aggregates are used with a bitumen as a binding material. So if you can consider concrete roads or concrete pavements, so the Portland cement or lime can be used as a binding material in order to make a concrete roads with the help of road aggregates. Okay, so by volume, aggregates generally accounts for 90 to 96% of the bituminous concrete and about 70 to 80% of the Portland cement concrete. So as I already told, when we speak of these pavements, if you consider flexible pavements, okay, so out of all the materials such as bitumen, soil and aggregates, so aggregates constitute 92 to 96 percentage of the overall materials. So there you can imagine or understand the importance of these road aggregates. So if we can consider concrete roads, okay, or rigid pavements, so there aggregates accounts for 70 to 80% of the total materials used in the construction of concrete pavements. There you can imagine the importance of road aggregates. So therefore, so before considering aggregate, certain type of aggregate to be used in the highway construction, so one has to make sure that so these are desirable to be used in the road construction. For therefore, study on this aggregate materials is very important, and that is what we are going to learn in this video session. So aggregate is also used for base, sub-base course for both flexible and rigid pavements. So aggregates can either be natural or manufactured. So natural aggregates are generally extracted from larger rock formation through an open excavation, or simply you can call it as a quarry. Okay, so extracted rock is typically reduced to usable sizes by mechanical crushing. The manufactured aggregate is oftenly a byproduct of other manufacturing industries such as tile industry, such as granite industry, so marble industry. So these manufactured aggregates are byproduct of other industries. So the requirements of the aggregates in the pavement are also discussed in this chapter. So first we shall discuss on desirable properties. So these aggregates will possess a number of properties. Okay, so but to confirm to be used in the road construction or highway construction, so these should have certain desirable properties. So they are strength, hardness, toughness, shape, adhesion with the bitumen, durability and freedom from deteriorating particles. So these are the some desirable properties which aggregates should possess to be used in the construction of highways. So we'll look into them detail. First one is strength. The aggregates used in top layers are subjected to stress action due to traffic wheel load, wear and tear, and crushing. So we oftenly, as I said, when the aggregates are used in the topmost layer, okay, so where actually the vehicles come into contact with the pavement layers. So there these aggregates are subjected to crushing due to wheel load and wear and tear due to movement of the vehicles and crushing. For high quality pavement, the aggregate should possess high resistance to crushing and withstand stresses due to traffic wheel load. So this is what we call it as a strength. These aggregates should possess sufficient crushing strength to be used in the topmost layers. The second one is hardness. Okay, the aggregates used in the surface course are subjected to constant rubbing or abrasion due to moving traffic. The aggregate should be hard enough to resist the abrasive action caused by movements of the traffic. The abrasive action is severe when steel tired vehicles moves over the aggregates exposed to the top surface. So what is this hardness? Hardness is simply nothing but resistance to abrasion. Okay, so if you consider this as a pavement layer and this is the movement of vehicles, so when the vehicle tires come in contact with the topmost layer of the pavement, so there will be rubbing action taking place between the pavement layers and the these vehicle wheels. Okay, so especially if in places where steel tired wheels are being used, so there in that at that particular places the abrasion will be maximum. So in order to avoid wear and tear of these aggregates, okay, so it should possess sufficient hardness in order to resist this abrasion or wear and tear. So next one is toughness. Toughness is simply nothing but resistance to impact loads. Okay, so aggregates used in the pavement should be able to resist the effect caused by jumping of steel tired wheels from one particle to other at different levels, which causes severe impact on the aggregates. That means, so these aggregates should possess should be tough enough to resist the impact loads. Okay, they should not break. Okay, so that is what we call it as a toughness. Then shape of the aggregates. So usually we have seen that aggregates are available in different shapes. The aggregates may be cuboidal, they might be round, they might be angular, flaky and elongated. Okay, so it is evident that flaky and elongated particles will have less strength and durability when compared with cuboidal, angular or rounded particles of the same aggregates. Hence, too flaky and too much elongated aggregates should be avoided as far as possible, because these flaky and elongated aggregates will undergo crushing, will break when the load is applied on that. Okay, so we need to prevent those kind of materials being used in the highway construction. So on flaky and elongated aggregates, we need to prefer cuboidal and angular aggregates more. So then adhesion with the bitumen. The aggregates used in the bituminous pavements should have less affinity with water when compared to bituminous material. Otherwise, bituminous coating on the aggregates will be stripped off in presence of water. So as I already told many times in the previous concrete and heavy materials lab, so this bitumen is a hydrophobic material. It really hates the water. Okay, so these aggregates should have more affinity to bitumen compared with water. So the aggregate should be free from moisture. Okay, so therefore when the aggregates are dry enough, there will be proper bonding between the bitumen and aggregates. So we need to make sure that the aggregates are completely dry. So then durability. The property of the aggregates to withstand adverse action of weather is called as soundness. The aggregates are subjected to physical and chemical action of rain and bottom water, impurities therein, and that of atmosphere. Hence, it is desirable that aggregates used in the construction should be sound enough to withstand the weathering action. So then, freedom from deleterious particles. Obviously, the aggregate should be clean. It should not have dust particles, elongated particles, flaky particles, clay balls, and other objectionable materials. So these are the 7 important desirable properties of the aggregate to be used in the highway construction. So next, the test conducted on aggregates. So these tests we have already discussed in the concrete and highway material lab. So I'll not go in detail with these tests. So you can refer my manual on highway and concrete materials testing lab. So for these tests on aggregate as well as tests on bitumen. Okay. So the crushing, I'll just give a brief note on why these tests are conducted. A crushing test is conducted to measure the strength of the aggregate. Okay, so desirable property is a strength. Okay, so in order to measure the strength of the aggregates, we go for crushing strength. So then abrasion test. So this abrasion test, usually we call it as a Los Angeles abrasion test, conducted for measuring hardness of the aggregates. So the desirable property of the aggregate is hardness. So the test to be conducted to measure this is abrasion test. Then we have impact test. This test is conducted to know the toughness of the aggregate. Then soundness test. Soundness test is conducted to measure the durability of the aggregates. Then shape test, obviously here we will be having flakiness index test and elongation index test, which we already discussed in the concrete and highway materials testing lab. Specific gravity and water absorption test, then bitumen adhesion test. So out of these, only soundness test and bituminous test we have not discussed in the concrete CHM lab, so that we will go through. So this crushing test is a test setup. So what we actually do here is the percentage of material which is crushed, that is what we are going to calculate here. Okay, so here a small correction needs to be done. So instead of making W1 by W2, please consider it as W2 by W1 into 100, because W2 is the portion of the materials which is crushed. So for details you can go through this theory part, you will get to know. So then abrasion test. Now this is a Los Angeles abrasion test setup. Impact test, again here also please make it W2 by W1. Then soundness test. Okay, so soundness test is intended to study the resistance of aggregates to weathering action by conducting accelerated weathering test cycles. Okay, so the porous aggregates are subjected to freezing and thawing, are likely to disintegrate prematurely. Okay, so obviously what is this freezing and thawing? Freezing means keeping these aggregates in a cold condition. Thawing means keeping these aggregates in a extremely hot condition or high temperature conditions. Okay, so alternatively freezing and thawing condition is simulated in the lab. Then these aggregates are tested for disintegration. So to ascertain the durability of such aggregates, they are subjected to an accelerated soundness test as specified in IS 2386 part 5. Aggregates of specified size are subjected to cycles of alternative wetting in a saturation solution of either sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate for 16 to 18 hours. So what we usually do is, so we will take certain weight of aggregates. Okay, so then these aggregates are immersed. These aggregates are immersed in either sodium sulfate solution or magnesium sulfate solution for a period of 16 to 18 hours. So then they are removed and again they are kept for drying for another 16 to 18 hours. So this completes one cycle. Okay, so once the aggregates are immersed in these sodium sulfate or magnesium sulfate solution for 16 to 18 hours, okay, under saturation solution. So now these aggregates are removed and kept for drying. Okay, so then this completes one cycle. So like that, number of cycles are repeated. Okay, for example, after 5 cycles, the loss in weight of aggregates is determined by sieving out all the undersized particles and weighing. The loss in weight should not exceed 12% if you are using sodium sulfate solution, and the loss should not exceed 18% if you are using magnesium sulfate solution. Okay, so this is what we call it as a soundness test, which is used to measure the durability of the aggregates. So then shape test. So this is a thickness gauge, this is a length gauge. So this is used for flakiness index, as you know. This is used for elongation index. Okay, Then specific gravity and water absorption, which we already know and have conducted this experiment in CHM lab. So please go through the procedure and other details in the manual given to you. So then bitumen adhesion test. Bitumen adheres well to the normal type of road aggregates provided they are dry and free from dust. Okay, so the absence of water, there is practically no adhesion problem if the bituminous construction, in the bituminous construction. So adhesion problem occurs when the aggregate is wet and cold. So this problem can be dealt with by removing moisture from the aggregates by drying and increasing the mixing temperature. Further, the presence of water causes stripping of binder from the coated aggregates. This problem occurs when bitumen mixture is permeable to water. So several laboratory tests are conducted to arbitrarily determine the adhesion of bitumen binder to an aggregate in presence of water. Such tests are static immersion test is one specified by IRC and quite simple. So the principle of the test is by immersing aggregate fully coated with the binder in water maintained at 40-degree temperature for 24 hours. So then the percentage of stripping is calculated by observation. So once I upload this video to the YouTube, I'll also give link to this bitumen adhesion test, that is static immersion test. For that I'll give a link, please go through the video. So IRC has specified maximum stripping value of aggregate should not exceed 5%. Okay, so here the codes used for different tests are being mentioned in this table by IRC, and also for a particular desirable property what is a type of test that is we conduct in lab, that is also mentioned in the this thing in this table given by IRC. So please go through this. So with that aggregates is completed. In the next video I'll discuss with the bitumen. Hope you have understood the things. Thank you very much. Have a good day.